What's going on, everyone? In this video, I'll be talking about why it's important to celebrate small financial wins and what some of those are. No matter what stage in life you're in, with so much happening in the world, it's easy to feel like you're not measuring up financially. It's a universal feeling. Everyone's situation is different, but no matter what, it's important to celebrate the journey along the way. With that said, I'll be sharing 9 small financial milestones that are notable. The milestones may be easy to overlook, but worth celebrating at any age, so you can watch until the end and see how you track against it and set yourself up for success. The first on the list is if you have your bases covered. I know it seems like a low bar. Since the bar is set so high these days, it feels like having your bases covered doesn't mean like it's much. But to me, that's not true. It's easy to get caught up in the rat race and compare ourselves to our peers, celebrities, influencers, and whoever else. Although having that state of mind has some benefits, like too much of anything can be toxic to your mental health. Plus, you want to avoid burnout as much as possible because when you're burnt out, your productivity will take a massive hit. Everything comes down to balance. All that to say, if you're making ends meet every month and handling business, that's a great starting point and worth celebrating. Not only is it the starting point, but having your bases covered is absolutely where you want to be before you can start doing some of the more interesting things that I'm going to be talking about in this video that are tactical. Basically, wealth building has to start somewhere. All right, so number 2 is having a good credit score. Good credit score is a milestone you want to track against to celebrate if you achieve and maintain it. The reason is that it'll open up many opportunities for you, like for business, real estate, insurance plans, and revolving credit lines that come with rewards. All of those benefits can make you money. So having a good credit score will get you approved for loans with lower interest rates, saving you thousands of dollars over the life of the loan. Plus, it can help you get credit card approval with better reward programs and lower interest rates, which means that you can save money on everyday purchases. It takes time to build a good credit score. The best approach is to take baby steps, like making timely payments, keeping your credit utilizations low. In my last video, I actually lay out a step-by-step guide to boosting your credit score, so check it out. If you haven't yet, I'll leave the link in the description. Number 3 is sticking to a spending budget. If you have the discipline to stick to a spending budget, that's a worthy milestone, and it may seem like not a big deal, but it's foundational to building wealth at every level. Limiting spending allows for you to save more and pay off debt, which increases your overall net worth. The first step is to create a plan. Look at your income statement, your expenses, and determine how much you spend each month. Once you have a budget, the next step is to devise a plan to stick to it. Let me share a few strategies that work for me and make it easier for me to do this. The first step is to automate this process. That includes your savings and bill payments. Like, I don't even see it. Most financial institutions and banks allow you to do this, so if you need help, I'd give them a call and have them walk you through the setup process. Automating your savings is nice because it forces you to save and not overspend. Likewise, all of my bills are automated to be paid on the due date. That way, none of my services are disrupted and I don't miss a payment, which prevents my credit score from decreasing. Second is tracking your spending. Keeping track of your spending can help you identify where you're overspending. Apps like mint.com do a great job with this, plus it doesn't cost anything for you to use. Not only do they help you categorize your spending, but they also visualize it for you and report on the trends that you can address later on. Developing the habit of sticking to a spending budget is fundamental when it comes to personal finance because it directly helps you save money and build wealth over time. Number 4 is driving a paid-off vehicle. There are a lot of benefits of driving a paid-off vehicle. The biggest reasons are, of course, you don't have car notes anymore and that you own a valuable asset outright. When you pay off your car loan, you free up a significant amount of cash flow in your monthly budget, which you can use to pay off other debts, save for emergencies, or make investments. Also, you save on car insurance. Since you own the car outright, insurance companies can give you better rates on your car insurance, so I'd definitely check on that if I were you. Overall, driving a paid-off vehicle, even if it's a little bit older, is an awesome financial milestone that can help you reach other financial milestones along the way, which of course is highly beneficial. Number 5 is having an emergency fund. Having an emergency fund is super important because it's a safety net for unexpected expenses. You never know when something might happen, like losing your job, medical bills, car repairs, or pet bills. Without an emergency fund, you might have to rely on credit cards or loans to cover these expenses otherwise, leading to debt, stress, and more problems. An emergency fund can help you avoid debt and give you peace of mind knowing you're prepared for whatever life throws your way. I recommend an emergency fund that can cover your living expenses for at least 3 to 6 months. That way, you give yourself some cushion if things go sideways. Having an emergency fund is an important part of financial planning. It can help you stay financially stable, avoid debt, and other headaches during tough times. Number 6, negotiating better rates on recurring bills. If you can decrease recurring bills, that's a huge win. It can be any type of bill too, insurance, phone bill, or recurring services. It may feel like a small victory, but it adds up to significant savings over time. Let me give you the blueprint on how to negotiate a better rate. Doing your research. Before negotiating, research the current rates offered by the service provider and competitors. This will give you the leverage when negotiating with your current provider. Highlight your loyalty. If you've been a long-time customer, mention this when negotiating. Providers may be willing to offer discounts that you didn't know about to keep loyal customers happy. The reason is that companies know it costs way more money to acquire new customers than to retain existing ones. So definitely use that to your advantage. Bundling services. Providers are more flexible with discounts when customers bundle services like internet, cable, phone, or home and car insurance. Get creative and see if you can find a win-win situation that ultimately decreases your monthly spending. Lastly, consider switching to a new provider if your current provider isn't willing to budge or is being inflexible. I'd consider changing if the new provider can provide the same services but at a lower cost. Number 7 is starting a second income. With all these companies going through mass layoffs, I don't think it takes much convincing to know that having multiple income streams is becoming more and more of a necessity. Like, I was scrolling on LinkedIn the other day, there's all kinds of these horror stories of people working 10 plus years at a company, having a lot of success only to get laid off in short notice, or being a parent living paycheck to paycheck, struggling to make ends meet and getting laid off without any severance. There are so many of these type of stories out there right now given the state of the economy. With a side hustle, you'd be giving yourself extra cushion, especially during times of tough economies. Plus, the extra income could go towards discretionary spend, or it could help you pay off debt or more aggressively save. But more importantly, you're developing new skills, exploring your interests, and building up your network. If you're considering starting a side hustle, I'd find something that closely aligns with something that you're already good at. A great place to start is looking no further than what you do for a living today. Can you parlay the services you provide at your 9 to 5 and branch that off into a side hustle? Once you have an idea nailed down for your side hustle, this is when you can level up and start planning and goal setting. What I mean by that is you can start getting more strategic by clearly defining your target audience, identifying your unique selling proposition, developing a marketing strategy. How do you plan on launching and maintaining your side hustle? Once the ball is rolling, that's when things can get operationalized, and then you can start hiring people, think about expenses and income, set up a separate bank account, register your business, and streamline your operations. Doing all of this is challenging but rewarding. I laid out the high-level strategy here, and it'll take time to achieve, but it's definitely worth it in the end. Number 8, reaching a debt payoff milestone. Whether you have paid off 25%, 50%, or 75% of your debt, each milestone brings you one step closer to becoming debt-free. Paying off debt can be a long and difficult journey, so when you reach a milestone, definitely celebrate it. The thing is, most Americans are in debt, so here's a chart breaking down the debt averages for each age group. There's good debt and bad debt, of course, but for the simplicity of this video, our goal is to become debt-free so that we don't waste our hard-earned income on payments that go toward paying interest, which is the cost of keeping the debt. It's not uncommon to have multiple loans, by the way, so if you do, you definitely want to prioritize your debts and pay off the smallest or highest interest rate debts first. That way you're chipping away at either the overall number of loans outstanding on your name or eliminating the most expensive loans first so that you save money on interest over the life of the borrowed money. Depending on your goals and using smart debt payoff strategies, it's definitely worth celebrating each milestone along the way, and eventually becoming debt-free is a huge win. Now, number 9 is reaching a net worth milestone. Your net worth is the difference between your assets, what you own, and the liabilities, what you owe. When your assets exceed your liabilities, you have a positive net worth. Reflecting on the average debt chart by age again, setting achievable net worth goals that align with your financial situation is important. A great place to start is actually $10,000. If you have a net worth of $10,000, don't scoff at that. You're actually doing great because most people, as I've shown, have a ton of debt. So if you have more resources than you owe, you're actually doing pretty well. Now, once you clear the $10,000 net worth, that's when you start setting your eyes on $50,000 and then $100,000 and so on. Each net worth milestone is a huge accomplishment and a step towards greater financial security and stability. One way to accelerate your net worth is to focus on building up the number of assets that you own. This can include investing in stocks, real estate, or other assets that increase in value over time. Another way is to reduce your liabilities by paying off debt. By paying off debt, you reduce the amount of money that you owe and increase your net worth. To be blunt, reaching any positive net worth milestone, especially in the beginning as a starting point, in my opinion, is good because that literally means that you have more assets than debt, and that's a great position to be in. From there, the sky's the limit, right? Everyone has different net worth goals for themselves. There's no right or wrong answer to this. Just make sure that you enjoy the journey and that you help those around you as you go up. That wraps it up for this video. If you like the information that I shared, make sure you like and subscribe. Feel free to comment below if you have other ideas to share. Check out my next video, and I'll see you in the next one.